name's Brett. I'm the guitar player in Medevil.
And I'm Eric Wiesa. I am bassist and backup vocalist. Medevil can be described as a power progressive band. We got hints of thrash, and just generally we play high energy music. Our music could be for fans of Metal Church, Metallica, but we also got like rhythmic elements of Meshuggah as well, and Tool.
I would say that Medevil has a lot of elements of classic metal, but there's a lot of elements of a lot of newer stuff too. So there's a really good blend of, old school vibes, but like sort of new school progressive ideas. I just get a lot of ideas and I just want to put them down, and just I really enjoy seeing where I can take them. I hope that I'm creating something that's reasonable and realistic for people to play. Sometimes it's not. But
we're too good.
Music is just it's exciting to explore and see where you can take things.
Yeah, I mean, ditto that, right? Like, I got into music to kind of create things that would be something that I enjoy. I like to write music that is a blend of the favorite things that I listen to, and that's why we formed the band originally. Because Medevil was formed all the way back in high school, right? And I think me and Liam would listen to a lot of Metal Church, and we just kind of wanted to take that, but see if we can tell a bit more of a story in our lyrics. Just the way we write and what inspires us is we don't really think of Medevil as being so much as we are one genre, and that's what the band is just kind of a blend of whatever our favorite things are, and they kind of mix together. We assume that other people like that as well. If we like it, then someone out there likes it. So we put things out, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'd also say that our music comes from a lot of different places. Like we all sort of contribute different elements to the music, and the stuff that Gary writes comes from a different place from where I write, and so there's a lot of different mixes of things going on. I usually leave the lyric writing up to the other guys.
Yeah, so Medevil, it's kind of interesting how we just kind of took a word and just made the spelling wrong. I guess we were inspired by Megadeth to do that. I think it was more of like, at the time when we were in high school, we had a band called Demise back in 2011, and we were just kind of, we weren't very good at writing, and we were just kind of performing in the school. But when we got more serious and when we graduated high school, we're like, hey, we want to actually play outside of this kind of small kind of music spheres and like put a release out. And the biggest issue is obviously trademarks. So I think it's easy to say if you spell something wrong, then people spell things wrong in different ways, so we're less likely to hit a trademark bump in the road. So but yeah, like specifically why we chose Medevil as the word. Medevil has a lot of fantastical elements. When you think of Medevil, you think of like a lot of different things that are essentially storytelling, and that's what we want to do. We want to tell stories. Our lyrics are very personal, especially on this new release, but we try to tell this story in like more of a metaphorical sense, so that even though a lot of the lyrics are personal to Liam, he would write things that would take place in different time periods. And so I think it just gives us an allowance to be a bit more explorative in our subject matter, which again is inspired by a lot of bands like Iron Maiden and stuff that would also tell stories about these fantastical elements. So yeah.
What he said.
Nice. Mirror in the Darkness. Brett, what will you tell us about Mirror in the Darkness?
It's a dark album, as the name would suggest. It was a very difficult album for us to make. We did most of the production ourselves at home. A lot of it in this room right here. We recorded the drums all the way back in 2019, and it's been an interesting process. I mean, we've kind of taught ourselves how to make an album while we were making this album. Yeah, we wanted to do something a lot bigger than our first release, and I think that really comes through in the final product.
Yeah, our goal with Mirror in the Darkness was to take all of the elements of the first album and just make them all better. We felt like, the production was one of the biggest things from the first album that we really wanted to expand on. I think like the first album just has a very dry sound, which is, it's not bad, but we think that we wanted to explore a lot more layered elements in our production. So you'll hear things like a lot more different instruments. Some of the songs have orchestral elements, which is new for us. Like one of the songs "Pray for Me," which we actually, when Brett came out with "Pray for Me," which was a demo, he basically came out with the full production of the song, which basically became the template for how the rest of the album needed to sound, because there were so many layered elements in there that kind of created this unique sound. And I think each song kind of explores a different soundscape that you'll find. So we'd like to say that the album is not a concept album, but there are elements where certain subjects can tie into each other. There's a lot of, like a lot of the lyrics are about depression and just like inner turmoil. Yeah, I think from front to back, it's a musical journey that should be experienced all the way through. We set up the track list to be a bit more kind of ebb and flow. We were thinking a lot about where the energy moments are and where we kind of like fall off and kind of like let things chill out. I think there's a song in there for everybody. We kind of tackle quite a few metal subgenres in that. I think we got like a song that's like doom metal. We got a thrashy song. We got a full kind of like Meshuggah inspired like power metal blend.
Yeah, they're largely about, inner turmoil and trying to overcome it, and a lot of the pitfalls that people run into when they're trying to go through these difficult things. I think it largely parallels a lot of what we went through during the time of this album. There's some glimpses of hopefulness in there, but it really does explore a lot of the darker sides of life and mental health and things like that.
The inspiration for the lyrics. So about our process with the album, we would start off each track as an instrumental first, and we would have basically the full arrangements and the full song figured out as an instrumental. And then me and Liam would get together and just kind of work off of the energy that the song has, and that would inspire a lot of the lyrics. Liam would take kind of like certain elements, like an example is "Weight of the Crown." It's got this kind of like dark intro where things start off really loud and bombastic, but then quiet down and the lyrics start, and then it kind of builds back up again. And so we have this kind of theme that we wanted to set and start off with about a leader who is given power but can't handle it. But the song structure kind of inspired the way that we build up and then into an explosive chorus with just like the anxiety that you get as a leader, and that's just kind of like building and building until the big explosion. So it really comes out of the music first and foremost.
Yeah, I guess we really wrote a lot of dark sounding riffs and passages, so it just naturally went that way.
Yeah, so the album cover, which was drawn by Ivana, is gorgeous, and we kind of started off with just kind of like a theme and a feeling, and worked with her on just kind of like getting inspired by like the feeling of inner turmoil and darkness. And so we put together a lot of images that kind of like gave us that I guess that feeling, and then just kind of like ended up with this woman whose face is obscured and behind a broken mirror. And to me, that is kind of like looking at yourself. No matter how you want to feel, you just can't help but want to smash whatever you see in the mirror. And it's not a great feeling, but I think it does come from depression and just the bad feeling you get.
it kind of came out of left field a little bit, but it was, as soon as we saw it, we were like, yeah, we want that.
Yeah, I think like we had like a few explorations where it's like, I think there's like a few people in like a forest, and we're like trying out I think some artwork that was inspired by Opeth albums, but I think after like a couple weeks of just trying some ideas, Ivana just went and just, here, what do you think of this? And the gut feeling was, yes, that's the correct album that we should go with. So really captured what we were looking for.
For me, I'm still playing catch up with a lot of the stuff that came out 10 plus years ago, from whether it's Meshuggah or band Haken, even just like Tool's classic releases, up to 10,000 Days. There's so much there to dissect and learn from.
Yeah, I mean, I actually quite enjoyed that new Porcupine Tree album that just came out, Closure and Continuation. Steven Wilson puts out some awesome music. There's also, Fear Inoculum came out, and that was a little bit of a grower, but I came to appreciate a lot of the depth that there was, and it kind of became one of my top 2 or top 3 Tool albums. Outside of the metal sphere as well, it's just like, I think I've been checking out some Joji. He's got some cool tracks out there, so yeah, I think he put out a new album, and that one was pretty good as well, so.
Yeah, I have to say Joji's pretty cool, and I like a lot of stuff that is not really under the metal umbrella. Definitely took a lot of inspiration from even just like top 40 pop music over the last few years.
Yeah, that one's interesting because Vancouver's music scene seems to have a lot of death metal, I've noticed, at a lot of shows. There are a lot of amazing power metal bands as well. We're home to Unleash the Archers, which, I think they're one of the largest new bands to come out of Vancouver. Really excited. We played a show with them before. But yeah, like the local music scene is great, though, for all the support you get from all the people. It's really easy to put on a show. You just put out a message, and we got a really strong community that will stick together and play at shows. So playing in Vancouver is kind of risky, not knowing which large show is on at the times. Like, we're expecting it to be packed, except Elton John is around the corner, Really close coming up in April, which will be, I think, about a week after our album come out, April 13th. We'll be playing at Hyperspace Metal Festival 4, and that's in Vancouver at the Fox Cabaret. So come and check us out, because that'll be the first event where you can pick up your CD copy of Mirror in the Darkness. So I think that's pretty exciting, eh? We're putting out this album, and we would have loved if Chris could have heard it, but unfortunately, some things don't work out the way that you wish that they do.
Well, we have a lot of goals for the future. We want to keep making music. We want to try and expand upon what we've done over the last couple of years.
After album release, we do have a few more videos that we'll be putting out there, so keep your eyes peeled. There will be more.
I love metal music because I feel like there's really no limit to what you can do with it. Of course, there's like a signature kind of sound, but you can pretty much take that anywhere. There's so much variety and so much talent. It can pretty much encompass everything as far as I'm concerned. And
I just fucking love going to a concert and moshing. Metal just is the type of music to get your blood pumping and just get you really fucking excited. I listen to all kinds of metal bands, from doom metal, heavy metal, thrash metal. I love progressive. Dream Theater is one of my favorite bands. But when you got bands like Porcupine Tree, it's like a unique blend where metal bands can just mix up different sounds, and it's one of those genres, like kind of like rock as well, where it's almost everything, and it's just, you kind of know it when you feel it, when you hear something that just sounds heavy. I don't know. I don't know what the world would be like without it. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Medevil. I'm Eric.
I'm Brett.
And you're listening to us on Metal Rules.